Good morning. Today is the 4th of February, 2024. Here's today's mug. I believe this one is from Aunt Pat. And my co-host is out still. She does not want to get going here on this Sunday morning. It's been a little while since I've created some content for you. I almost said since I've seen you. I mean, I actually don't get to see you, but you understand the sentiment. Got up, made my coffee, came to my computer in the living room, and I'm typing like this. And about 2 minutes later, I hear the coffee start to go, and it's not making the correct sound. Didn't put a mug under the coffee maker. So by the time I got there, it was about half. I'd lost about half a cup. Oops. So the last 2-ish weeks since I did a video for you, been a little bit crazy. And I was thinking about breakfast, because I usually make a nice breakfast on Sundays. So I was thinking about eggs, and I'm like, oh, I really want eggs. And I started to think about a little analogy about how it's been going for me. So, you haven't, are you going to put all your eggs in that basket? You've heard that phrase, right? So I'm like, okay, I have a dozen eggs, and teachers, you feel me, we have so many baskets. And so there's always going to be a basket with no eggs or few eggs. And if you put all your eggs in the baskets, you're not going to have any eggs for yourself. And what if I want dippy eggs? So it's one of those, do what you can as you can. You're not going to be able to do it all. And a lot of those like motivational reels and some of those like motivational things have been coming through too. So I think my phone knows that it's been a crazy couple weeks. But once again, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Prepping these mugs, even though I spent an hour doing that this morning, that is a form of self-care for me. It was getting the neurons going and the synapses are firing. Teaching psychology, we're doing a little biopsych right now, so I decided to throw that in there. Today's mug theme, presentism. Presentism. So when I teach this concept in school, we get rid of that ism. Get rid of that. And what do you see left? Present. Okay, so the general concept of presentism is when one takes their own or society's own current values, morals, beliefs, and you apply them to someone else's life experience, or they get applied to a past historical figure or an event. So when you're judging the actions of others or those in the past through your own values, morals, and beliefs, that's the idea of presentism. So I only came up with that after I came up with my list. That's my list for today. And I was like, oh, this is probably a really good time to bring this up to my faithful muggers. So let's do it this day in history so I can illustrate this point. 1789, the Electoral College elects George Washington as president and John Adams as vice president. How the Electoral College worked at this point in the late 18th century, we're a brand new country. Each state got 2 votes. The candidate with the most number of votes became president. The one with the second most number of votes became vice president, even if those 2 individuals were not on the same page politically. So when I talk government, talking to students about this, and I say, that's stupid. That's weird. Stupid and weird are words that I don't like used in my class. Okay, it implies a sense of judgment. So when we're talking about it even more, well, that doesn't make any sense. How are they able to work together? That type of idea, saying that these decisions were stupid and these people made poor choices, that's presentism. So society changes over time. When you know better, you do better. Stop applying unnecessarily that judgment. Another one, 1685, this day in history, General Robert E. Lee, who had resigned from the Union Army, becomes the General-in-Chief of the Confederacy. So one perspective, he was a traitor. From the other perspective, he couldn't, see bearing arms against his home state of Virginia. Putting that own personal judgment, that's presentism, and it gets us down a line that we probably don't want to go. It doesn't mean you shouldn't have your own morals. It shouldn't have your own belief systems. Have those things. Hold on to those things. Live your life that way. But stop being judgy of all the other people. This day in history, 2004, Mark Zuckerberg and other people who helped him but didn't get full credit. Mark Zuckerberg launching a Facebook. So the Morning Mug, in part, would not be possible if it weren't for the book. Another one, this day in history, 960. You heard me right, 960, the founding of the Song dynasty. A cultural practice from previous Chinese dynasties into the Song for the upper class, for the elite. For women was foot binding. So this practice, girls when they were young, their feet would be bound, at times broken. So as the foot would continue to grow, it would remain small. The goal length was 2 to 4 inches. And you can imagine very painful, not able to walk very well. From one perspective, you can see that as a patriarchal practice because women would be very reliant on others. You can see it as physically abusive as well. And I'm not saying that it's not, but we have to look at past historical events, past people's actions through a more understanding lens. We're not condoning that behavior, but a lens. So when I talk about the Song dynasty and foot binding happened just this week in AP World. So I was like, that's gross. That's weird. That's, stupid. The words we don't use. And I said, okay, let's talk about why. How is that reflective of our own modern beliefs? And also I said, well, let's think about it this way. Your parents pay thousands of dollars to get pieces of metal cemented to your teeth, connected by a wire to forcefully move your teeth into a more desirable position. And then someone's like, what about Invisalign? And I'm like, done, moving on. Some of them got the point. And we just continued on with our class. This day in history, 1945, the Yalta Conference. Churchill, Franklin Roosevelt, Stalin meeting to decide, hey, what's the game plan going to be, especially for Germany once World War II ends. It's not going to end in Europe until May of 1945. This day in history, 1977, Rumors, the album by Fleetwood Mac, is released. Funny story. So I have 4 CDs in my car. They've been there for about 2 years. They just keep going. And sometimes I listen to things on my phone, a podcast or something. And one of those is Savage Garden. Anybody? 1997, 98, Savage Garden. There's a Madonna album in there. There is a mixed CD from college called Ladies Night that we made. And the last one is a compilation, a tribute album for Rumors. A bunch of different artists from Matchbox 20. Sean Colvin is on there. Jewel is on there. Each did a song from the album Rumors. And some of those songs, Don't Stop. Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow. Isn't that a good motivational one? I did put that in the Morning Mug Spotify playlist. Go Your Own Way. Oh. Now, of course, when you think about the title of a song, it might not match the meaning of the lyrics of the song, but these are still good motivational things. Go your own way. And don't stop. Good things. Birthdays. 1902, Charles Lindbergh. 1913, Rosa Parks. Think about Charles Lindbergh, this presentism. American aviator, seen as, an American hero. If we had pictures on Wheaties boxes back then, he would have been on it. But also seen as a Nazi sympathizer. Should he be completely canceled as a result? We could have some intellectual discourse around this topic. So 1913, born Rosa Parks. Born in 1921, Betty Friedan. 1948, Alice Cooper. 1962, Clint Black, country singer. Today is Liberace Day. Commemorating the 1987 death date of Liberace, one of the highest paid performers in the late 50s and 60s and into the early 70s. It is Homemade Soup Day. It is World Cancer Day. It is Sweater Day. It is Stuffed Mushroom Day, as well as Thank a Mail Carrier Day. Mail carriers, I hope you're not having to work today. Today is Sunday. That's how I want to thank you. I appreciate all that you do. And the rabbit hole that took me a whole hour was 1794, the French General Assembly abolishing slavery, And there was a picture there of revolutionary leader Georges Danton. And I had a flashback that I have not had in a very long time. Danton. To college, we had a course called History is Film, Film is History, Film as History. And a whole bunch of people signed up for it because they thought, we're going to watch Braveheart and Dances with Wolves. Nope. We watched a number of films that we had never heard of before. Thank you, Dr. J.J. Ward. One of those films was the 1983 film, and I believe had a Polish director. There were a number of Polish actors who spoke Polish and then had the French overdubbed. The French actors spoke French, and the lead, playing revolutionary leader Georges Danton, was Gerard Depardieu. Gerard Depardieu. And I remember in the 90s watching My Father the Hero, which was with a young Katherine Heigl. I remember watching Green Card with Andy McDowell. So I'd been familiar with some of his work. He was in The Man in the Iron Mask. He played Porthos, I believe. He was in The Life of Pi, if anybody's seen that film. He was the cook. And I was reminded that Gerard Depardieu, we loved him in college. I made my first Facebook group. The page is still up there. The Gerard Depardieu fan club. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen this in a while. This was part of going down the rabbit hole. 3 new people joined the group in the last week. I think we're almost up to 60 members. One of which had this little blue thing with a check mark on it that's next to like accounts that are verified as like legitimate pages saying Gerard Depardieu. And I'm like, impossible. It's not true. So I did some digging, and it's possible that Gerard Depardieu or whoever's working for him has joined the group. That would be absolutely crazy. But I didn't talk about this particular event because this picture of Danton was not, he was not in charge of the Committee on Public Safety at that point. He was not, I don't know why they posted Danton's picture for that particular event. So I just kind of pushed to the side, but I went a little cray-cray on Gerard to see what he's up to. And then I'm like, do I even bring this up? Because there are some various allegations. He changed his citizenship to Russian for a while, and he met Putin, and then he said, Putin, you're making some poor choices because of invasion of Ukraine, and he's now a citizen of the United Arab Emirates. And I'm like, is this too controversial? Is this too much of a push? And then I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, you're talking about this idea of presentism, even though he's still a modern figure, he's still with us. So I'm like, I'm still going to bring it up. So we can't end an episode. Favorite part of the show? Daily Dose of Hype. So I'm like, okay, Gerard Depardieu, Tom Hanks, let's figure some stuff out. So I did find an article from Roger Ebert. If anybody remembers Siskel and Ebert, 2 thumbs up, the famous film critics. But of course I had to pay to get the article, and I love all y'all, but I wasn't about to pay $1.99 to have a 1-month subscription to this website to find this article. But 2 easy connections. I didn't even have to look them up. Gerard Depardieu starred with Leonardo DiCaprio in The Man in the Iron Mask. Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks in Catch Me If You Can. Another film that I love Gerard in was Green Card, starring Andy McDowell and Hugh Grant in 4 Weddings and a Funeral, Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts in Notting Hill. Julia Roberts and Tom Hanks connected to each other through Charlie Wilson's War and Larry Crowne. I haven't done celebrity connections for a little while. My daily dose of Hanks has just been the Googles. Maybe I need to bring it back. And I actually sat and figured out that whole interaction. So there we go. A little bit longer for a Sunday, but that's okay. It felt good putting this together for everybody. And I hope you learned a little something. So until next time, behave, be good, be kind, continue to wash your hands, recycle, take your dog out for a walk. Walkies. You want to go walkies? No reaction. She is out cold. Okay. See you next time. Bye.